Driving under difficult conditions. Adverse weather is considered always difficult in driving, such as hot climate, foggy condition, rainy day, high wind, driving at dark. Driving under sunshine in hot weather. Keep the windscreen clean. Precautions before starting to drive. Tires inflation should be checked before you start your journey when they are cold. Check the level in the windscreen washer reservoir and top up if necessary. Keep the windscreen clean. Vision will be seriously impaired if your wipers are worn out. Oil and water can make the hot surface of the road slippery and dangerous, particularly if there is a sudden rain shower after a long dry spell. Take extra care. Watch your speed and keep your distance. Dealing with the extreme summer weather. How to drive safely in heat and sun. Constant sun in your eyes can be exhausting on a long journey and may affect your concentration. Even if you do not feel the need, the correct sunglasses can reduce the glare and keep your eyes efficient for longer. Never stop on the hard shoulder of a motorway to take rest. Instead, use the service areas or get off the hard shoulder. A large midday meal. Do not eat a heavy meal before long drive. Have a light meal, or you can have snacks and refreshments. Heavy meal will make you feel drowsy and sleepy. Things to avoid while driving. Smoking deposits a thin film on the windows of the car, which makes a glare on the windscreen and obstruct your vision. If the ash fell off, it will distract you and can cause a collision. Smoking acts as a physical distraction while driving, as the driver removes his hands from the steering wheel. Driving safely in the dark. Driving in the dark requires more concentration because visibility is restricted. It is important to be more alert while driving in the dark. Your eyes and speed at night. Limitation of vision at night. Humans do not have the visual acuity of a hawk's, nor can they see at night the way cats can. Give your eyes a minute or two to adjust to the darkness, particularly when you are coming out of a brightly lit area or building. If you cannot stop safely within the range of your lights, you are going too fast. Vehicle position when driving in dark. While driving on two-way traffic, the oncoming vehicle headlights may dazzle you. Vehicle lights. You may find it best to put your lights on before dusk. Do not be afraid to be the first driver to switch on. It is better to see and to be seen. At dawn the opposite applies. Do not switch off your lights until you are sure it is safe to drive without headlights. Vehicle lights. The lights of the car should be clean, and there should be no dust or stain on it. The lights should not be broken. Even a minor scratch will deflect the lights and you will not be able to see properly. Low beam of the vehicles should be slightly down and towards right. Full beam should provide straightened vision. How to use the headlights. On dark two-way traffic, both side vehicles should continue with full beam. As your car lights meet with the oncoming vehicle lights, turn it to low beam to avoid dazzling. By the time you reach at the spot where your vehicle lights are not dazzling the oncoming vehicle driver, turn it to full beam again to have clearer vision. How to use the headlights. In case of overtaking, the leading vehicle should drive with full beam, but the vehicle at back should keep the lights to low beam, as the lights will reflect from the center view mirror and the side mirror, which will dazzle the driver. Once the overtaking vehicle reaches at the spot where the lights will not blind the overtaken car driver, switch back to full beam again, and the overtaken vehicle should turn into the low beam. How to use the headlights when you approach a right-hand bend on a two-way road, you have to dip your headlights earlier. Your headlights will cut straight across the eyes of anyone coming towards you. When you approach a sharp left-hand bend, you may not need to dip your lights at all. Parking and emergency stop at night. While stopping the vehicle at night, you should switch off your headlights and keep your parking lights on to convey the clear message the vehicle is not moving. In case of emergency, switch on the hazard lights to warn rest of the road users. Do not stop or park your car at bends. Using your headlights in built-up areas. If we are driving on those roads where the street light are giving us sufficient light to scan, full beam is prohibited. But in case we are driving in city limits where the lights are in working condition, but not providing sufficient light. To get enough information, you can turn your full beam until you meet any oncoming vehicle or any unprotected road users. Noise at night. Keep all the noises to the minimum at night, not to disturb the people who are sleeping. If you want to warn somebody at night, you can use headlight flasher instead of horn. Driving in fog. The risk of early morning fog can be frequent on major highways. Poor visibility is frustrating and a strain on the eyes. You must be able to stop well within the distance you can clearly see. Overtaking in fog is dangerous. Precautions when driving in fog. When driving in fog, use dipped headlights with fog lights and keep well back from the vehicle in front. If your vehicle breaks down, or if you cannot continue due to the poor visibility, get off the road and do not stop or park at the hard shoulder. If your car is fitted with high-intensity rear fog lights, use them in the fog only when the visibility is seriously reduced. Driving in high wind. The scent blowing near deserts can cause problems. Some vehicles can become unstable in strong crosswinds because of their large surface and comparatively low weights. This can happen particularly on exposed stretches of the motorway. The effect can vary from a simple pull on the steering wheel to a strong pull on the whole car, causing it to wobble, perhaps into the path of another vehicle. In very bad cases, the whole vehicle can be lifted up off the road, with very serious results. In gusty conditions, watch for cyclists or motorcyclists being blown sideways and veering into your path. Allow extra room if overtaking. Driving in high wind. High winds can also cause problems when driving close to large vans and trucks. Do not stay alongside them or too close to them for longer than necessary. There will always be the chance, however small, that a strong gust could cause a large transporter to topple over onto your vehicle. Driving in rain. Remember, the less grip your tires have, the greater the distance you will need to brake. Be aware of this and take the necessary precautions by driving slower than normal and keeping more safety distance from the vehicles in front of you to give yourselves more stopping room in case of emergency. Driving in rain. The driver's visibility is seriously hampered by heavy rain. The spray from other vehicles contain elements of oil and grease as the roads are washed clean, which creates smears on the windscreen. Washer fluid helps to dissolve the oil smears. Aquaplaning. The tread pattern must be designed to drain away sufficient water to avoid aquaplaning, or hydroplaning, which is the skidding of the car along the water surface on the road, making it impossible to steer or brake. High speed, worn treads and overly broad tires are other causes of aquaplaning. Even with good tires, aquaplaning can occur at high traveling speed, so you need to slow down and keep more distance if the road is wet. The more water on the road, the greater the risk of aquaplaning. A clear indication of aquaplaning can be that the steering suddenly feels very light. When this happens, slow down by easing off the accelerator. Never brake or try to change direction, because when you are aquaplaning, you have no control at all over steering or braking. And remember, at 80 kilometers per hour the tires have to force away up to 25 liters of water per second when it is raining. Precautions while driving and raining. Check the tires, thread depth. Check the wipers and their fluid. In heavy rain you may use your fog lights. Don't use hazard lights as an excuse of overspeeding. Don't overspeed, it will cause aquaplaning. Causes of skidding. Factors that cause skids. The driver, the vehicle, road's condition. Skids usually occurred when the clutch is suddenly engaged or disengaged, the brakes are applied too hard, the vehicle accelerates too quickly, the steering wheel is turned too sharp. Car skidding. Skid occurs when the vehicle tires have insufficient grip with the road or no grip at all. To regain the grip, the driver should let the tires rotate. ABS, anti-lock braking system. In past, the drivers used to pump the brake pedal in order to avoid locking the wheels, but nowadays, as we have ABS in the vehicle's brake system, it automatically releases the wheels to prevent them from locking. ABS helps to keep steering while braking as well. Dealing with floods. When you have to pass through a flooded road, stop and assess how deep the water. If the water seems too deep for your vehicle, turn back and go around the flood by another road. It might take a little longer, but that is better than finding yourself stranded in a flood. But if you drive through, maintain a steady speed, and be sure to keep to the shallowest part. Remember, because of the incline of the road, the water is probably deepest near the edge and shallowest at the crown, or center. When you have driven safely through, test your brakes. If they do not work properly, dry them out by pressing the brake pedal repeatedly, while driving along slowly. Do not drive at normal speed until you are sure they are working normally. Thank you for your attention. Please like and subscribe to this channel and click the bell icons to get new video updates.